Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we are actually going to be talking about 10 things that you can declutter right now. So I know with springtime, all the cleaning and whatnot that you can get, all the deep cleaning that you can do, I think that it's super overwhelming to try to do deep cleaning when you need to declutter. So I'm gonna give you guys the most simplest tip that you guys can go through, so you can go through it pretty quickly or you can kind of take your time. So first thing that we are gonna start with is expired food. So I know my mother is one of those people. She's super routine. She goes shopping every single Saturday. She's so routine that one thing that she never actually does is looks in her fridge to see if there's expired food. I am so particular about making sure that there's fresh food in my fridge. So that is not something that I struggle with. It is not something that I forget, and it is something I always check even when I'm at the grocery store. My next tip for you is to go through your makeup. The other day, I actually bought a makeup vanity and I was so excited. It's so pretty. I'm gonna go ahead and insert like a little clip here of it. It's just beautiful. But anyways, I realized something is when I have like a brighter mirror and I'm doing my makeup and whatnot, I was like, oh my gosh, like why does this not look as nice and fresh or whatnot? Makeup expires, believe it or not, makeup expires, and it usually says on the bottom of it, I'll insert a little clip here as well. It says on the bottom 3 months, 6 months. I do know that you are supposed to change out your mascara between 3 to 6 months. And like even like your dip powder, things that you use to do your eyebrows, whatnot, those are usually 6 months from the time that you open them up. So if it's like getting a little cakey, or even like your eyeshadows, like if they're creasing and whatnot, it's usually not fresh makeup. So go ahead and, like I said, add it to your next list, or keep a task list in Google Keep and write down the makeup that you've thrown out, or the makeup that you no longer feel like it looks as fresh, as good, and start replacing them slowly, little by little. Or you can do a nice little Sephora haul. Hey, why not? It's fun. The third thing that you can declutter right away is your vitamins and supplements or medication. So, you know, the kids caught a cold 6 months ago or something like that, and you've had the fever medication for probably 2 years prior to that, and you know, the lid is all sticky and the syrup and whatnot, it's even hard to get the cap off. That's usually a good indication that it's probably time, or it's almost past its expiry date. So go ahead, go through your medicine cabinet, take a look at all the expiry dates, and even if it's close to, bring it to the front of your cabinet. And that's a really quick way to sort of downsize the amount of things, especially when you're looking for something when you need it. Like if you've got a stomach ache, or you know, whatever's going on and you need to get to it right away. If you've got less and you know you've got things that are up to date, they're gonna do its job. The other thing too is sometimes we have stuff. I remember I went to go use a Visine, and I went to go drop it in my eyes, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is burning my eyes. Only to realize it was expired probably like 2 years prior to that. So anyways, go ahead, take a look at all of your medication, your supplements, whatnot. Make sure it's fresh, make sure it's up to date so that it can actually do its job and what it's there to do. Okay, number 4. So I do like this tip, and I think that with the KonMari method, she usually likes to start with clothes, like to go through the clothes, because it's one of those things that doesn't take a lot out of you emotionally when you're going through your clothes. I mean, sometimes you have an attachment to it, but most of the pieces, you've worn them, you're very familiar if they look good on your body, if they work for you, and you're very familiar if they don't work for you. So go through your clothes, and this is the only task that I will give you. Anything that you have not worn in the last year, anything that you haven't worn. Especially, I understand with the whole pandemic and whatnot, with the whole entire world, a lot of people have been working at home, so your wardrobe probably has changed significantly, but anything that has tags on it, I think this is it's hard. It's hard to throw away clothes with tags because you're like, but I haven't even worn it yet. I say donate it or sell it, and that's one less thing that you have to go through when you're trying to put your clothes away and you can't even hang up anything in the closet because it's jam packed full. go ahead and take out the clothes that you have not worn yet for the last 12 months. And even if you're not ready to get rid of them, put them aside and start making a list. I love going on Pinterest, or I love even watching other YouTube videos to see like a capsule wardrobe. It really gets you thinking, what can I do with a simple black skirt? Like, what can I do with a simple blazer? And there's so many different ways to style it. So you start seeing your wardrobe in a totally different light. Okay, so I think number 5, chargers and whatnot, all of these things that work sometimes and no longer work, some of them. So I would go ahead, any of them that are frayed, this one is fairly new, so it's in really good condition. But any of them that are frayed that you just sort of like throw off to the side, go ahead, throw them out. I know that there are lots of solutions and whatnot for cable management. So I think that especially like if you live in a newer place and whatnot, all of the cords are usually behind the walls, and you don't necessarily think about all of the things that you've accumulated over the time, whether it be like extension cords and all this stuff, and you think, well, I'm going to use it. I would say if you have more than 5, that's when you can start decluttering them. 5 is a good amount, you know, some for outside when you want to do Christmas lights, some for inside when you, whatever the case is that you may be using it for, but go through your cable management. Number 6, it's going to be actually going through your kids' educational books, especially the ones that you bought and you're like, yeah, it's going to be so helpful. Go through your kids' educational materials and whatnot. So I realized, you guys, that I have all the good intentions in the world, and I'm like, I buy them all their learning activities, and I'm like, yes, especially on Christmas break and Easter break and summer break, we're gonna do even 15 minutes a day. Sometimes that's true and sometimes it's not. Anyways, your kids end up going into grade 4 and you've got material from grade 1. So it's probably time to go through it and just declutter it. And even if it is in really good condition, or if you've just used a couple of pages, just donate it. Number 7 is easy peasy. Go through all your pens and see if they work. That's it, just see if they work. I'm not even telling you that if they work or they don't work that you have to throw them out. That's up to you. If you want to keep pens that don't work, I'm not going to judge you. I will not judge you. But I would strongly advise the best thing to do is check the pens that don't work. That's such an easy declutter. Go through your socks. So I'm pretty sure everybody has it. Like, you lose a sock, you wash a sock, and for whatever reason, you've got mismatched socks. So there's tons of different ideas that you can do. You can have all white socks, all black socks, so that you don't have to worry about ever having to match them again. But if you do have mismatched socks, say that fast, throw them out. I would say every 6 months, just start fresh. If overwhelming, then you have to have a place for the mismatched socks, and you have to have a way and a whole system to try to find them again. The easiest thing to do is just start fresh every 6 months. Go ahead, get some socks. You can get some at the dollar store, or you can get some fancier ones, whichever your preference is, but go through your socks and have a clean slate and only have matching socks in the drawer. That way when you go to get dressed, it's easy. You save yourself time. Okay, so this one's kind of hard for me. Like, I have to say, and I'm gonna admit it. I have a water bottle addiction. I just said it. I admitted to it. I have an addiction to water bottles. This is my latest one, you guys. I know, like, it's pretty. It's pretty. I know. Just, it's okay. Don't be jealous. Like, I love her too. I love it. But anyways, go ahead, and I wouldn't just say water bottles, but I would say the things that easily beset you, the things that you tend to collect, whether it be Tupperware, whether it be water bottles, whatever it is, go through it and see the ones that, take out the ones that you like, take out the ones that you use all the time, take out the ones that you just know it works in your routine, take out those ones, and the rest of them, you know what you're supposed to do with them. You know. This one's easy. Go through the toys that your kids have. Anything that's broken, chuck it. Textbooks. Oh my gosh, how many of us have textbooks from when we graduated, from when this, from when that? Let's get rid of those textbooks. I think that one, honestly, guys, is gonna take me the longest. I have so many of them. You guys, I forgot to include one bonus tip. I have one bonus tip for you guys. I am actually going to be decluttering my wedding dress. Every time I think about it, oh my gosh, I'm gonna save it, my daughter's gonna use it, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I think that thing has changed 50 different colors of yellow. I'm going to be getting rid of it this year, and we're moving past that. I'm pretty sure my daughter, when she gets married, she's gonna want something beautiful and trendy for that time. Not that one. Anyways, you guys,